gentlemen, Nachis as they call in Urdu. I had a lot of privileges thanks to CII for many speeches at CII, but nothing compares to inviting great personalities as of today that we have on this forum like today, sir. We often speak at CII like this one. We talk about stakeholders' bank balances. We talk about stakeholders' balance sheet. And rightly so, because that's a work that has been chosen as industry to go forward. But in that pursuit, we tend to forget the balance that matters the most. The balance which we owe it to the biggest stakeholder, which is Manavta. So it is this march for money which needs to be translated with a balance for mission for Manavta. And as CII, we are here working to build something for the nation, to build something with the industry for our people, dedicated to the service of the nation, to build something that brings benefits and brings balance to the whole of Manavta. That's what we say in a utopian world. ना कोई वहम है, ना कोई बेहरम है यहाँ, ना कोई जुदा है, ना कोई बेवजह है यहाँ, ना मुसीबतों का मलाल है, ना शराफतों का जवाल है, ना मोहब्बतों का अकाल है. We are talking about a world where this balance created through the mission for money matches with mission for Manavta. And in these next few minutes, I look forward to cherishing one of the most few minutes that we will cherish, dedicated to exactly this mission. And it is my privilege to tell you about the man, the entity, the largest, I would say, soul which covers it all, Sri M. Sir. Sri M. Sir is one of India's most revered contemporary spiritual figures, a living yogi, author, social reformer, and educationist, whose work bridges ancient wisdom with the needs of the modern world. He was awarded the Padma Bhushan in 2020 for his distinguished services to spirituality, society, and the nation. More than 30 years ago, he established the Satsang Foundation as a meeting point for all spiritual seekers of all persuasions, guided by his enduring instruction, go to the core. The foundation is built on the conviction of this, that humanity is one, and works across education, healthcare, skill development, and environment stewardship had to be taken together. His autobiography, Apprentice to a Himalayan Master, became an instant bestseller, translated into numerous Indian languages. And it is our privilege that it gets translated to Punjabi and it gets released here today at CII. Joining us for this occasion is Mr. Anirudh Tewari, Director General, Mahatma Gandhi State Institute of Public Administration. Mr. Tewari IAS 1990 batch, sir, is currently serving as Special Chief Secretary, Government of Punjab. A distinguished IAS officer of the Punjab cadre, he has led several key leadership positions in the Government of Punjab, including Chief Secretary, Principal Secretary, Finance, and Principal Secretary, Department of Government Reforms, and Chief Executive Officer of Invest Punjab, where he played a pivotal role in policy formulation, reforms, investment promotion, and institutional strengthening. Ladies and gentlemen, it gives immense pleasure to invite everyone in cherishing the next few moments with Sri M. Sir. So please join me in welcoming him. Thank you.
Thank you, Taran. Maybe after that beautiful shairi, anything that I say won't be good, so I'll get the session going forward. Before we hear from two of our distinguished guests here, can I request the lady who's at the backdrop of what we are celebrating today, the Punjabi translation of Sir's autobiography, Apprentice to a Himalayan Master, Mrs. Shalini Rawatji, to be on the stage and share a few words with all of us. Shalini ji.
Honorable Sir and Anirudh ji, I am not spiritual per se, and it has served me very well. I get up in the morning, go to work or work from home as the day may be. I eat, I move on with my life, and most of the time I don't need any dose of spirituality. That's what all of us believe. Sometimes the kids go out of hand, sometimes the spouse is cranky, sometimes the car is cranky. But we survive all that. And then one day something happens and we sit up and we take notice of who or what is running our life. Things do not go the way they are planned. Then you start questioning, and that's when a guru enters your life. It's one of Sir's quotes. We lovingly call him Sir. Sri M's quotes. He says that nothing good can come about without true questioning. But at some junctures in our life, we not only question the circumstances around us, we start questioning ourselves. A deeper questioning of ourselves then turns the vision inward. And then you just pray and hope. And sometimes a lot of people, have seen them doing a lot of window shopping for gurus. They read books and they tick the proper boxes. Oh, I have read this person. I've met this guru. I've done this. I've taken Diksha from this person. I've attended this retreat. And, they hope and pray for an answer. But the answer doesn't arrive. The answer arrives when a guru chooses you. I was very fortunate that Sir came all the way from Madanapalli to Jalandhar in 2016 and chose me and picked me. So that was only Diksha time. I did not know what destiny held in store for me. I was one of you. My life was perfectly oiled. A husband with a successful corporate career. 2 lovely young boys. They are here, all of them today. And a very lovely family with total sport. And then stuff happened and my world broke apart. At the right time he came in, the right anchor. And since then, I was telling him in the car, I talk to you every day, sir, and he seemed very surprised. Please don't go by the innocent look on his face. He knows anything and everything that happens with you. He's the guru positioning system, the ultimate GPS. So that is when books that also guide you choose you. So this was a book that chose me. This is a book that chooses everyone who is here and has read it and who would know that. It chose me as a reader first, and I read it, and then I was like the intellectual that I was, comparing it with, this is some ways better than Swami Ram's autobiography. Oh yeah, it resembles that famous autobiography of a yogi. I think everybody has it at home in their library, even if they have not read it. It's a pretty popular book. Oh, here it resembles that book. So that said, I was doing all that intellectual analysis, and for 17, 18 years I was with the newspaper. They call us literary critics. I hate that title. So I would call myself the literary appreciator of books. And I would critique them all the same. I would say good, bad things about them all the same. And it chose me as a reader, and I read it. And then life started changing. I started to anchor myself more on the inside than on the outside. And certain changes took place. I took Kriya Diksha. That practice helps me. I don't know how. Please don't ask me how, but I know that I'm a different person than what I was, let's say, a decade ago. And then I just prayed for some seva. And then the WhatsApp group sends out a message. We need volunteers for translating quotes in Punjabi. I took that up. And then I was sitting with my neighbor one day, Mrs. Manjula Dhawan, and just thinking aloud, अरे कितना अच्छा हो ना अगर सर की बुक भी पंजाबी में आ जाए. And that will actually, we were just greedy that would be one way to bring him up north. So he has been very stingy with his visits to Chandigarh. And even in our wildest dreams, we wouldn't think he would come here right to Chandigarh. We were thinking, he's got more followers in... he's the internet sensation of the spiritual world. So he's got more followers in Jalandhar, in Amritsar. Maybe he'll grace them with his presence, or maybe he'll come up to Delhi where things are very organized. We never thought that he would be coming up to Chandigarh, and that was our hook. Maybe aa jayenge shayad. And I sent him a prayer, and he set things in motion. And I thought, acha denge bhi to na chota sa kuch, some fiction work that he's done. So I very diffidently sent in a chapter of one of his fiction books, Shunya. I like that book a lot. It's him. He will never admit. So yeah, when that brings me to a very interesting word that is used for godmen in India. They're called conmen. I truly believe they are conmen. Please forgive me for saying that. First they break out of the prisons of their own minds. They let themselves out of this material world where we are on a forever stepped on a infinite cycle of getting another car, another job, another, hopefully not a wife, but another better, something bigger, better all the time. And we're just chasing all of that. And we don't want to come out of it. First, they break themselves free. And then they push us out without so much as asking, of course. They know who's the right candidate. And they come to choose you. So just beware. Sir is a con man, beware. So the book chose me. The translation chose me. And so here it is. It's the Punjabi translation of Apprenticed to Himalayan Master, a yogi's autobiography. I am just a medium. All of you who have read Apprenticed to Himalayan Master in English, if you can read Punjabi, please do read it. The reason I'm saying is that I was born and brought up in Mumbai, did most of my education there in English. And I call English my father tongue. I worked in English. But Punjabi is my mother tongue. And your mother tongue is always closer to you than your father tongue. So the thought that arises in your mind will always take on the costume of your mother tongue. Then you translate it and present it to the world in your father tongue. So if you want to reduce the distance between yourself and your thoughts, read it in the mother tongue. I put a little Punjabi tadka in there also. Sir, as you can see, and especially when he gets up and addresses, you will see that he's a very diffident person, very calm. And हिंदी में जैसे मेरा नाम शालिनी है तो शालीन शब्द मैं इनके लिए इस्तेमाल करूँगी. बहुत शालीन है. आप किताब भी पढ़ेंगे तो मजाक भी ना बड़ी शालीनता से किए हुए हैं. And I had the task of translating that into Punjabi. Punjabis are loud. So there are instances, where I've quoted in places in an interview also. Sometimes when they say in English, he quotes one of his previous births where he is shooing away an unwanted fakir. And in English he writes, leave me alone. I think if kisi bhi Angrez ko you say, leave me alone, that gentleman will never bother you again. But Punjabi, it doesn't serve the purpose. So, para mar jaake, dafa ho ja. That sounds very crude in English, but I had to use that because otherwise the essence would not be conveyed. So, thank you for giving me all your ears. And over to Shama ji. तो क्षमा कीजिएगा आप सब यदि मैंने कुछ ज़्यादा कहा हो, पर मेरा निवेदन है आपसे, इट्स माई हम्बल रिक्वेस्ट, प्लीज़ इफ़ यू कैन रीड पंजाबी और इफ़ यू नो पीपल हु कैन रीड पंजाबी, गिफ्ट इट टू देम. It is a trajectory of Sir's evolution from a human being just like you and me. That's how we learn, when we follow a hero's path. It's his trajectory from being a child, how his guru met him at the age, his con man, at the age of 9 under a jackfruit tree in the backyard of his house, and how at the age of 19 he quit home and then left for the Himalayas, how he found his guru there, or again, how his guru found him there. And then his work. Gurus make you work very hard. So please, that's a disclaimer. If you ever want to enter the spiritual path, they will make you work very hard. So be prepared for that. But if you do not enter the spiritual realm and are caught in that same net, the Manav Jivan is vyarth. So more from the Master. Thank you so much. That's all I want to say. Shri Guru Dhanam.
Thank you, Shalini ji. Those words were straight from the heart, and I think all of us sitting here can feel it. We move to the next part of the session, sir, with your permission. Can I request Taranjeet ji to be pleased on the stage, alongside current CII Chairman, Mr. Vivek, and CII Vice Chair, Gurmeet Chawla ji, to be on the stage for the unveiling of the book, please. Sir. Sir, can we request you to please? Thank you, sir. Thank you, Mr. Tewari. Congratulations, Shalini ji. I know it's a lot of hard work. Got it. Can I request a mic for Mr. Tewari ji, please? Can we get the handheld mic in the interim? Sorry, sir. When we need the tech the most, it kind of goes away.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
No, it's fine.
All right. With that, we move on to the next session of the evening. And can I request Mr. Tewari to please engage us and Sir to give us his enlightened words for the evening. And I'm sure there are a lot of topics that all of us want to hear from Sir. So,
Thank you so much. Good evening, everyone. There are certain moments in life which are very humbling and are equally joyful. And certainly, this is one moment for me, very humbling and very joyful indeed to be in conversation with Sri M, a person who's touched the lives of millions of people across the world and has helped them make their lives more calm, more peaceful, more joyful. Today evening, everybody's here to listen to you, sir. And without much ado, I would plunge straight away into some of the questions that I have and some which my friends have sort of fed me and want me to be a source for their queries. And the first one, sir, is that, and I'll take a cue for that from my friend Taranjit. I was listening to you, Taranjit, and Taranjit mentioned the mission for money, the mission for Manavta. M for money, M for Manavta, M for mother, because that's probably the first sound that all of us make. M for some of the spiritual seekers here, M for Mahavtar Babaji, M for your Guru Maheshwarajji, and M for Madhukarnath, the name your Guru gave you. But sir, you still choose to identify yourself and call yourself Sri M. So, if I may, what is the message behind this simplicity and, dare I say, the anonymity of the word M?
So first, आवाज आ रहा है क्या? Can you hear me? Yes. Clear, because I talk softly. Are you okay? थोड़ा सा ऊपर करना पड़ेगा. First of all, thank you for this evening. Namaskar. I also have to first, before beginning, thank Shalini ji for having translated it, the autobiography, into Punjabi. This is interesting. This is the last Indian language in which it has been translated. Finally. We've been thinking about for a long time, but it just didn't happen. But now we have the translation. Thank you very much. Okay. Tewari ji's question, I need to break it into a few sections before talking about. One is that when people refer to me, they say Shri M. Honestly, even if you simply say M, I'm very happy with it. There is no problem. M is okay. But the Shri is usually added by, like saying Mr. Out of respect, Shri. And fortunately, I have only one Shri. So, and M. M actually written in English, but then it's Ma. Couple of things. My master, Maheshwarnath Babaji, as you mentioned, sir, when he initiated me into the Nata Sampradaya, he gave me the name of Madhukarnath. It's a nice name. I love it because Babaji used to always call me Madhu. Madhu also means honey. And the way he said Madhu was also like honey. So I love it. So the first letter of Madhukar is M. Ma. I was born in a immigrant Pakhtun family settled down for 4 generations in Kerala. And so when I was born, my name given, which is all still there in my passport, is Mumtaz Ali Khan. First letter M. But more than all this, I'm very happy when people call me M, because M, Ma, represents Manushya, a human being. So I don't identify myself with any other thing now, except that I am a human being like you. So when I say M now, I stand on an equal ground with you. So you and me are Manushyas. So when you say Shri M, you call me, you're also Shri M. It's not different. You're all human beings. So this is the meaning of the term Shri M. Yeah, as you said, it's also the first letter of mother, Ma. Sometimes when people call me M, I also sometimes remember a little bit of pain. The pain that my mother went through when I was into all these adventures. Running away from home, not informing anybody where I was. I came to learn the seriousness of this only when I had kids. Before I had children, I just laughed it off. She's a strong person, she's okay. Then when you become parents, then you realize how important this thing is. It's not easy. So sometimes when you say M, I also remember her.
Thank you so much. I think the identification of M with Manavta and Manushyata, as you said, is great. You mentioned, sir, about your being born in a particular faith and you grew spiritually in another faith. Today, people from, I think, all faiths and religions across the world seek guidance from you. People often confuse faith and religion with spirituality also. What essentially is the difference between these two terms?
Right. Good question. All of us, not only in India but also in the world, we're all born into some religion or the other. Some practice the religion they are born into, some do not practice the religion they are born into. Out of that, some people find that some other practices in another religious context are better and more suitable, and they change and practice that. But we have to remember that, I'm saying this in Punjab, this is the land of Guru Nanak Sahib. You see, where there is a beautiful integration of different faiths, especially the Islamic faith. And we all know that when the first brick for the Golden Temple in Amritsar was to be laid, who laid the first brick?
Mia Mir.
Mia Mir. Here was an integration that was happening. Right?
Yeah.
So, I want to say this. Whatever be the religion one is in, all religions have started, well, I have a special attachment to one particular stream, but I'm in general. Any religion that you find started, major religions, because today there are so many sects being born every day and dying every day. That's not what I'm talking. Major. Happened because of a mystical experience of some one person somewhere. So even though the religion was formed afterwards, it started, the root, the beginning is a spiritual experience that somebody had, maybe in the quietness of the forest or in the quietness of a mountain cave or somewhere. This then got translated and interpreted to suit the community and to suit the situation at that particular time, and the religion was formed. So therefore, it is natural that you find many religions, because although they are based on the spiritual experience of somebody, it is interpreted to suit the situation, place, and the kind of persons who are there present at that time. This is the difference between spiritual and religion. But if you go down to the depths of the spiritual understanding, then you do not distinguish outward religion. You look at only the essence. So this is why I keep saying go to the essence. Forget the trappings. Go to the essence. And the essence is very simple. All the people who have had their spiritual experience or mystical experience, let's say mystical, out of which certain religions have come about, they all had one important factor in their character. One was humility. The other was searching and sticking to the truth no matter how dangerous it was. Right? Because in this world, if you stick to the truth, you might have run into danger.
Correct.
You will look at the great mystics. Two things you will notice. One is the humility. And humility comes when you understand, like Shalini ji also said some time back, no matter what circus you do, unless and until there is grace from above, from the Supreme, you cannot move a blade of grass. Now to understand this, there is no better, I hope I have time.
Yeah. Of course, we are all here for you.
There is no better story than a story from the Upanishad. There is a great Upanishad from the Samaveda called the Keno Upanishad. The word itself means Keno, who? Imagine 2000 years ago somebody asking this question, who is responsible for all this? So in the first part, it is very philosophical, trying to find out who you are, where you come from, what is the essence of this, and so on. Then it's totally metaphysical and so on. At the end of the same Upanishad, this is the Upanishad, there is a story, beautiful story, which kind of explains what it means, what we understand by the word humility. One day, this is a story of course, but stories are sometimes better than non-stories to illustrate the truth. The Supreme Being, which is the Supreme Brahman, the ultimate truth, according to the Upanishad, decided to bring down the ego of the other gods, like the gods of Agni, fire, god of fire, Indra, the lord of all gods, Vayu, the powerful god of wind, and so on, because due to their capacity to do things which is almost impossible for others to do, their pride had swelled and they had begun to think that they are possessing all the power of the universe. So Brahman decided, let's give them a test. So the story goes that this Brahman appeared as an yaksha. Now when you say yaksha, it's something undefinable. It doesn't have a form, but it has a presence. So, you know that Agni, Vayu, what is the other thing?
Varun, Indra.
Indra. These are the most powerful gods to whom sacrifices are done and havans are offered and all that. So of these, of course, Agni is most important because you offer things into the fire, whatever you do. Even those who don't believe in deities like the Arya Samaj, they also offer it to the fire. Havan. So Agni was very conceited because he is worshipped throughout the Vedas, the first. So Agni, Vayu, you know Vayu, air. Not only the wind and the hurricane, but also the wind that you breathe, the air that is powerful. And of course, Indra, the lord of all gods. Indra is called Indra because he is the lord of the Indriyas, the five senses because of which we live in this world. So they were looking and they found something there. They can't define it. Of course, you cannot define the Supreme anyway. If I try, I'll fail miserably. So they said, who is this Yaksha standing? We have to find out. So first they told Agni, you go. You are the most powerful fellow, go. So Agni goes. And he's about to ask him, who are you? Before that, the Yaksha asks him, who are you? That's why it's called Keno, who? He says, I am Agni, you know me. I am Agni. I can burn down the whole earth. I am the one to whom offerings are made. I am Jata Vedas, I know all the Vedas. This is what I am, Agni. I can break fire, I can burn everything down in a second. So the Yaksha takes a blade of grass, Trina, holds it and says, burn this. Agni tries all the ways that he has ever learned. He cannot burn that blade of grass. So he goes back and says, I don't understand who this is. I couldn't burn that blade of grass which he held in front of me. So then Vayu goes. So the Yaksha asks him, who are you? He says, I am the powerful wind, I am the cyclone, I am the hurricane, I can blow everything off. I am the breath that the human being breathes without which he'll die. He says, same blade of grass. He says, blow this off. So Vayu tries all the tricks of his trade and he can't blow the grass off. He comes back and says, this is confusing. I can't blow this little blade of grass which he has given me. Then says, Indra, I am the lord of all gods, lord of all the Indriyas, all the five senses, I will go. So he goes there. When he goes there, he can't see the Yaksha because the five senses cannot see the Supreme. It cannot be caught by the five senses. It is indefinable. They come back and they are wondering, who on earth is this? Who is more powerful than us? We thought we are the most powerful. Humility is beginning to set in. Then comes Parvati, the daughter of the Himalayas, Himavan, and says, what are you guys thinking about? He said, this is what? She said, look, all the power and the energy and everything that you have is from there. You cannot challenge it. It is coming from that Supreme Being, and this is the one that you saw. You thought, you were so conceited with your powers. You thought they belong to you. They don't belong to you, they belong to Him. You see, when you begin to understand this, even a little bit, then humility begins to, you can't do a thing. I'm not saying that you should not do anything. While doing whatever you have to do, think this very seriously, that ultimately it depends on what grace that we get from the divine.
Thank you so much. This was wonderful. And that leads me to the next question, which actually comes from my nephew who's abroad. And we often have this discussion, and I'll sort of recite a small couplet before that. It says that पत्ता भी नहीं हिलता उसकी रजा के बिना फिर बंदा गुनाहगार है मालूम नहीं क्यों. If everything happens according to His will, then why am I held responsible and why do I suffer?
It doesn't happen according to His will. The capacity to act has been built into our systems. We have been given brains to think. What I am saying is not to defend effortlessness. Even if you try to say that everything is God's and you will be forced to work, there is some energy in us which keeps us going. We cannot stop that. While we do this, we should just remember that in the ultimate essence, what will work is only what the Supreme Reality, God, wants to happen. That doesn't prevent you from working, because who knows what God wants? We don't know. So, let me tell you, there is another Upanishad which is talking about the Supreme Reality. He says this Supreme Being cannot be understood or experienced. Now, this is what we are doing here, it becomes useless if I quote this. I am Atma pravachanena labhya. That Atman cannot be attained even through any pravachana. So how is it attained? Through the grace. When it decides who gets the grace, that person gets the grace, then it is opened up. No pravachana is going to help. No. But in the next sloka describes what kind of person will benefit from this grace. Person who considers everybody as their own. A person who decides I will not cause injury or hurt to others. You find it in the Bhagavad Gita also. A person who values humanity more than gold. If that character is developed, then only we can solve the mystery of the question that you asked, which is it all destined, or is it possible that we can put in, even if we do some work, in the end, if results come, please understand it is due to grace. This is my experience. This is the experience of many people. They have worked very hard. We are not saying you should not choose. Like if you are hungry, you cannot sit down and wait God is going to drop the food down. No, you will have to eat, you will have to work to bring the food home. But mind you, the distance between the food and your mouth can sometimes be decided by destiny. The food may be there, you would have worked hard, you got the food because the energy has been given to you to work hard. Then before you put it into your mouth, there are cases where people get a sudden massive heart attack and pass away. So what happened to the food? So I'm not saying that you should be lazy and not do anything. You should do. You should be industrious. You must do your work. But always keep your faith on that supreme reality, saying, if I fail, I will work again. But perhaps this is what the being wants me to go through. In fact, what we call loss sometimes is a great gain. We know of people who were doing so well and then they lost everything and found God. You see, so our brains are too small to decide what is good for us. But whatever capacity we have, we should utilize it to the best extent possible. That's all I can say.
Thank you. I'm getting a signal from there.
There are a few audience
I know.
questions also.
I know. You give the mic to me, so you know. I'll make full use of it. Yeah. So, Shyam, one question that again I would like to ask, and I'm sure this comes. This is a question that probably bothers a lot of us, especially, a lot of us have grown up worshipping a particular deity form. For example, I worship Krishna, and whenever I sort of sit down to meditate, what happens is that the best idol forms or the best pictures that I have seen float around. Yeah. And my mind keeps on jumping from one to another, to another, to another. And I am unable to concentrate or meditate. And if I try to sort of pull myself away from them, I feel that probably I'm trying to do something which is against my devotion. So is there a clash between devotion and meditation at that place, or how should one meditate here?
All the pictures that we have today are all pictures that great rishis might have seen in their trance and described it to others. In fact, a proper picture of Krishna or Shiva or the Devis, I think, must have come to us after Raja Ravi Verma started painting.
Correct.
Before that, we did not know. So, these are all expressions of what one feels about the divine, which is okay. But for the purpose of meditation, it is always good to keep one aim in life or one figure or one picture or one, you can say they're all the same, we can merge them, but have one, because otherwise the mind has the tendency to scatter. There is a natural tendency of the mind. One day, I must tell you this funny story. Somebody was falling from a tree, from a big tree. And then when he was falling, he suddenly wanted help. So he shouted, "Krishna!" he shouted. Okay. Then he thought, what if Krishna hadn't heard? So while falling, he said, "Oh, Rama," he said. Then he thought, maybe Rama. Then he said, "Oh, Devi, Mahadevi, please protect me." And then it went on, and then he crashed to the ground, because each time one god wanted to hold him, he was calling somebody else. You understand what So, stick to one, think carefully, and decide what you want. Ultimately, all these together are from one source. As early as 2000 years ago, the Rig Veda declared, Ekam Sat Vipra Bahuda Vedanti, there is only one truth. The people may call it by different names. So, stick to this, and even if you get different images coming when you meditate, consider them as images or reflections of the same reality, and continue with one who you really, really are attracted to or attached to.
Thank you. The last question from my side before I open the floor to the audience, and that is that...
all good questions.
Thank you. After all these years of your journey, do you still find yourself seeking the guidance of your guru?
No, sir.
Thank you.
I don't. I'm now kind of free. I don't seek guidance, but I always am thankful to the Guru, of course, for bringing me to a state to link me with God, with the Supremo, whatever. Some people don't like the word God, because many, like, what is that? Somebody wrote a book called The God Delusion and so on. So people don't like the word. The fact is, word or no word, there is some mighty power, graceful, mighty, all-pervading energy in this universe, which is the source. So now, I don't really need to call on the Guru or anything of that kind, but I am always grateful to the Guru for having brought me this threshold from where I can see the whole thing as one. Thankful always, and whenever the Guru's name is mentioned, my eyes fill with tears, because without him I could have done nothing. That's there. But now one needs to move forward. What did the Guru want? To connect directly with the Supreme. So that's where it is.
Thank you. Thank you. I think I'm speechless after this answer. Nonetheless, I think I'll now open the floor to the audience. I'm sure there are a lot of questions. Can I see some hands here? Yeah. Chawla sir.
Can we have the mic, please? Sir?
And how much time?
Sir, another 10 minutes. We'll just take a couple of questions. A lot of questions which came in for the session.
Chawla sir ko दीजिए.
Sir, we all believe that everything is done by the Almighty.
So can you raise that voice a bit?
We all believe that everything is done by the Almighty, and we are puppets in His hand, and we should believe that. How do you define free will?
Sir, free will, as long as you believe in it, it exists. If you do not believe in it, and if you surrender it completely to the Supreme, there is no such thing called free will.
But if we say that I will do this, or I should attempt this, the result in His hand, I am still I there.
Yes.
Then where is there is a free will?
Yes. So, When I say I will do it, I have to do it, this is my duty, I'm going to work, also add the word God willing.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. Yes.
God willing, because if you try and if you fail, you shouldn't get into dejection.
Yeah. The lady out there.
Yeah.
Please just say your name.
Ji sir. A very innocent, a very simple question. Why are we sent to this life on this planet?
That
Because-
we have to ask God.
So again,
I
if
don't know.
he should have told us
Wait
why
a
are we
minute.
here.
Since we are already here, we need to follow certain practices and certain methods. Like somebody, let me answer this question nicely. Many people would have thought about it, I'm sure. Somebody went into a garden, a mango orchard, to pluck a mango. And some person hidden in the forest somewhere shot an arrow. Okay? The arrow hit this person here, important part of you. He fell down. And he was almost dying. If the arrow is poisoned, it would have happened fast. Now, this is a question asked by the Buddha. Buddha asked the question, while the arrow, which is pain, we all go through pain, right? It's only when pain comes then we start questioning. Yeah. So while there is pain with the arrow stuck in the heart, fallen down, what is the first thing that one should do? Take the arrow out, find out a way to get rid of the pain, or lying down there, speculate on who sent the arrow. Where did this come from? Because by the time we answer this question, we are dead. Right?
Right.
So, when things are there, we should try and deal with it rather than it's like asking, why is gravity there? We don't know, but we have to follow the laws of gravity. In the same way, while God has, let's say that God has sent us, and we don't know the reason. Why? Because our minds are too small to understand the reason. So, if you keep speculating with the brain, there will be no answer to this. So, the solution is go nearer to the divine. All sacred texts have described how to go closer. And then one day when you go close, you might find out why you're here. Before that, we cannot ask. It's also like my little child, when it's very small, asked me, Papa, do you really love me? Yeah, I love you. Why you have any doubt about this? No, but if you love me so much, why didn't you invite me to your wedding? You understand what I'm trying to say?
True.
So, follow the teachings which have come to us from all the great teachers. Not all, whatever you like. And then one day you will be probably able to come to some understanding to the question that you asked.
Right. So a little understanding that we have to move closer to the Supreme Lord.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. I see your hand there at the corner. The last two questions. The gentleman there, yeah.
Okay, my name is Bhushan.
I can hear you, sir.
Yeah.
What are your top 3 conflicts with science?
Huh?
Top 3 conflicts with science.
What are your top 3 conflicts with science?
I don't have any conflicts with science.
Wonderful.
No conflict.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
Absolutely no conflict. Because
Wonderful.
I think, since you asked the question, science is investigation. Right? There is one thing called the scientific method of investigation followed by physical scientists. Okay. There's another mode of spiritual investigation which also is scientific in its own way. So I have no conflict with this. And I also feel there is no harm in having doubt. It's only when you have doubt that you start to think. You try to find out. So, if you think this way, what is my conflict with science? Science is doing in a different way.
Thank you. The last question there. Yeah.
How do we get to know that we are connected to the Supreme now?
Now,
I mean,
Now-
at what stage?
I think when you go through life, I think for different people, this happens at different stages in life. Some, when they are very young, for some reason get connected because of various factors. In my case, my guru came all the way to make me understand this. Okay. Many reasons, we can't go into that. Then you'll have to talk about past life, this, that. In most cases, every human being at a certain stage of life faces a certain problem, which might be very serious sometimes. Then one begins to think, is it all in our hands or is this something else? Before that, if theoretically you think about it, it is not so serious. When we actually are faced with a problem and then we see no way out, then we begin to think perhaps there is a way out, the divine. And it happens to different people at different times. It need not happen to all uniformly at the same time. I think life teaches us.
Thank you so much. And the last question from the office bearer's table. I can't miss this.
Yeah, she was putting up her hand.
Yeah. And this is the office bearer's table, so I can't miss this. They're the hosts.
Actually, I have a lot of questions, but I really have less time. So I want to ask you, what is practical spirituality?
Practical spirit.
Yes, practical spirituality.
Yeah. So, please sit down.
Thank you.
Now, for practical, like you have a experiment in science. First, there is a hypothesis. There is a theory, right? Then is the practice. Like for instance, we know about something called the Pythagoras theorem. It's mathematics, geometry. It's a hypothesis, which means we are not sure. Perhaps the square of the base into the square of the altitude is the square of the hypotenuse. This is Pythagoras. Now, right now we don't know. Pythagoras has said so, right? So it's a speculation. It's not a mere speculation, it's a hypothesis. Then you construct it. You take the protractor, you make it and you say, right. So, in this case, it is good to start with a hypothesis, saying, so many great people have said that that there is a spiritual being and that you need to contact this being. This is a hypothesis at the moment. Then it comes to, suitable to you, what will be the best practice that will make you prove this hypothesis? We can't say that I want to prove it before I have a hypothesis, right? That hypothesis is called faith. There is no other way we can think about it, because we don't know. But many great people who have shown that they speak only the truth have said it. They can't all be wrong. So keep that as your hypothesis and then try to figure out ways and means of practice by which you can attempt to touch that being who at the moment is only in our mind as an idea. Now, the practice differs with different people. There is some kind of person who likes to meditate. There are other people who like to sing and enjoy the glory of the Lord. So, two personalities. There are many, but there are two. You can't tell that guy to meditate. He cannot. She cannot. You can't tell the guy who is enjoying the music and says, this is my devotion to God, to meditate. They cannot. Now, there is another yogi type who likes to meditate. He says, all this music, I'm meditating. Now, so there are different ways that has to be adopted. So I was going to say this. There are some people I know who are such good people. They don't meditate. I feel that once once in their lifetime they will start meditating. But at the moment, they don't meditate. They don't have bhajans or kirtan. But they're such good human beings. They always like to help others and do good to others and keep... This is karma. This is also one of the ways. So what happens? This person, by doing selfless activity, is actually in a way imitating the Supreme Being. He wants nothing from us, but he's working all the time. So, this is my...
Sir, what is the connection between Seva, Satsang, Simran with spirituality?
To purify your mind so that the spirit that hovers above you can touch your heart is Seva. This is the connection. And Smiran. Simran is like Smaran. In Punjabi, Smaran becomes Simiran. But the problem is, like Nanak Sahib said, Dukh mein Simiran sab kare, Sukh mein kare na koi. This is the problem. When pain comes, then you do more Simran. Happy, ठीक है, you light an agarbatti and walk on. See? So...
Sir, one last thing. Can we know the God without knowing ourselves?
No.
And what are the steps to know the God?
To know yourself.
Beautiful. 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 Well, thank you so much, Sriam. And thank you, audience. You've been a great audience. Thank you so much. This has been a very, very enriching session for all of us. And I think while you've answered a lot of questions, you've certainly ignited a lot of questions as well.
Food for thought.
Food for thought. It's been indeed a great honor and privilege for me. Thank you so much, Sriam sir.
Thank you.
Thanks
sir.
a lot. Thank you.
It makes a lot of difference to have a right questioner.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Now can I request CII Chairman, Mr. Vivek Verma, and CII Vice Chair to be here on the stage to felicitate Mr. Tewari and Sir, please. And Shalini ji, you need to be on the stage. We need to felicitate you.
Thank you, sir.
All with your blessings.
क्या करना है? अभी इसको उठा सकते हैं ना?
Yeah.
Carrying this burden.
Just one quick.
The backdrop. Okay. You all need to move a bit. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Mr. Tewari. I think it's been a great evening. Can we have a big round of applause once again, ladies and gentlemen? And Before all of you leave, I first of all, on behalf of all of us, want to thank CII Northern Region Chapter to host all of us for this wonderful occasion. And also there is high tea served outside, so I request all of you to please take high tea before you leave for the day.
Thanks so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Very